So, hello, welcome to the channel. We wanted to talk to you today about a couple issues. And first, I want to introduce Jerry McMillan. Been over 40 years in the landscaping business. This is my father-in-law. And I worked with him for about 10 years. So, hopefully, today we can answer some of your questions.
Well, I'm just glad to be doing it. I'll do what I can. I think I've got a little experience in the lawn and landscape business. Been doing it for a long time, and you can tell by looking at me, I'm an old man. I've been about 40 years, like you said.
So, is spring or fall the best time to seed a lawn?
Well, obviously, for people who've done it a while, it's fall. Around September, you get it started by aerating a lawn. You put down the seed you're going to use, which is usually a good fescue, and then you'll follow up with the fertilizer, and a couple of times you may have to water depending on the time of year and how hot the weather is or dry.
Why is spring harder to grow grass seed?
Well, grass seed have a little bit of a root problem. That's why in the fall you seed it and it has time to grow through the winter. The root system kind of gets a good grip on the earth and is able to get nutrients and water. But if you do it in the spring, it hasn't got time for those roots to really get a good grip. And most of the time, any kind of hot weather will kill it. Anytime it's ran over too many times with a lawnmower, that'll kill it because the root system doesn't have enough to actually feed it. So fall is better.
What types of grass are the best for seeding?
Well, we live in the southeast, so around here fescue is the best. When you get to Kentucky or higher, bluegrass and several kinds are better than this. But fescue from Tennessee down to Florida, a good fescue is the best kind.
What about ryegrass? What would you use ryegrass for?
In the wintertime, we use ryegrass because if you have a tough area that doesn't grow grass very well, it's bad soil, and then we use ryegrass to have something through the winter. And you get about 8 good months here, middle of October through the middle of May. It'll look good, but it'll die off in the summer. Now, a lot of people like to use the perennial rye, which is supposed to keep growing, but it's not really as good as it sounds. So we use fescue as a seeding that'll come along after the winter rye has died off.
What should you put down over the seed?
Well, it depends on many areas. Sometimes you can buy seed that's got everything already in it, and that's in small areas because it's very expensive. But in larger areas, we aerate the ground, put down the fescue, and put straw, just regular garden straw on it, and that'll keep it in place and keep it kind of moist when you wet it until it's begin to grow and looking good.
What's hydro seeding?
Well, hydro seeding is for big areas. It comes in a big tank. It'll be on the back of a truck, and they'll spray it. Looks like a water hose, but it's got all the nutrients already in the water. It's got the seed, it's got the fertilizer, and it's got a product that holds it in place. And it's very expensive, but it saves you a lot of time, labor, say for instance, the cost of the straw and the labor involved. This can be done very quickly. It does.
Should you use like weed control in areas that you've seeded?
Actually, if you've got a lawn that really needs weeds killed off, you need to do that before you seed. Give it a couple of weeks to kill off all the seed, and then sow your grass seed. But grass seed may be a little bit sensitive to weed killers, so it's best to wait until the grass has established itself before you put down weed killers.
So what kind of watering schedule should you use when you're seeding?
Oh, I think seed loves water. If you have an area where you can use a water hose with a sprinkler on the end of it, and it cover maybe a 30 or 40 foot section, that's the best kind. And as soon as you get done aerating and you got the fertilizer and the seed and even the straw, the day after, start watering it.
So should it be two times a day, 3 times a day? What's a good idea?
If it's a dry time of year, you can do it a couple of times a day, and you might skip to every third day and just make it looking good, because you don't want it to get too soggy. It actually can rot. So see how it's growing. When it's getting dry and hot, it hasn't rained. You want to keep the moisture down until it begins to stay.
Appreciate you coming by and watching our videos for the some information on how to seed your lawn. And if you like the video, click like. It helps us out, and hope to see you next time.
Glad to do it. I enjoy talking about what I've done for years. Glad to do it.